I should have... There we are. Some blue mortared stone. Let's go with just the cubes for this one. Not sold on it. Not sold on that, actually. I do like the idea of it being different, but I think maybe just the 2 will be enough. There, let's go grab some more brick. Because I'm going to have a bench around there. And some plant pots at the front here. Maybe just either side of the bench. I'm not entirely sure yet. You know, I want it to be a nice little space. 3 round plant pots. Can probably get more made though. They are ginormous, as you can see. Should be able to put some oak seeds or something in there. Make those even nicer. Let's have a quick gander. Can I get some more plant pots? I need 1 more. Yeah, I should just go ahead and make 1 more then. Oh, actually no. Since I've just used them all up, let's go for 5. Game. There we go. Do I have sandstone? I do have sandstone, yeah. Yeah, I absolutely do. I'm not entirely sold on using that, though. How many square plant pots? I've already got 3. So let's just make... you know what? Sure. Let's go ahead and make a bunch, regardless. Now, I want some nice benches if I can get them. I wonder... I mean, mortared stone benches are not bad. But to make this, I would need a lot of mortared limestone. Well, those are chairs. Pop that in. Then I'm going to queue up a bunch of mortared limestone. Now, how much is it going to need? Go wait. Okay, so I'm going to need 22, basically. Well, actually, it's not quite 22. I'll pop in 20. Make sure it's making it limestone. Oh. Don't have any lime. That's a problem, actually. You know what? Cancel that, because I am simply going to be consuming all of the limestone and popping it into the bison. So, instead, let's go for... mortared sandstone instead. Already got the resources for that. It's nice and fast. And if I can, I would like to grab a bunch of... no, I can't, apparently. I need to go to the other side for that. It must be all stacked up on one side of the building. And this is what the lumber stockpile is going to fix. Is everything being on one side or the other, and some of my things not being able to reach it, and some of them being able to reach it. It's kind of a frustration, honestly. There we go. We'll eventually run that all the way down. That's eventually going to be parking for this place. At least I'm hopeful for it to be used as that. Come on, you. The lag is sometimes a bit real. In before, I've actually lost internet. No, I haven't. I was starting to wonder, though. Like I was legitimately like, game? Hello? Anyone there? Okay. Now, once those benches are made, I'll place them in there. Well, the lampposts are lovely, but I'm thinking maybe the lampposts will be better at the edges. Or right at the front. I'm not sure yet, though. But I'm hopeful that the front of the store is really going to start taking off. It's going to come together really nicely. I would love to get some nice seeds to go down. We've got some acorns here. Grows an oak. I could grow Arctic willows. No, I think getting a little oak seed in there will make for a lovely decorative bush. There we go. Perfect. Because, come on, we've got to make the place look nice. Otherwise, who would want to come here to buy anything? Yeah. Pretty. It's coming together, I think. Eventually, I'm going to have brick roofing tiles at the top, leading up to a timber floored kind of eatery. Oh, take care, not a rogue AI. Have a good one, mate. There we go. There are 2 sandstone benches. And there's lots of other stuff that I can have, but I somehow feel that is pretty. I could have... Ooh, now this is the question, actually, chat. You can help me with this. Benches facing out or benches facing in? Benches facing the sales kiosk or benches facing out into the world? Are these inviting people who weren't going to sit? Because this is the way my mind is working. Coming along here, you know, you're just a dappling about town. You're not really sure what you're gonna do, but you've got a pocket full of silver clovers, and they're burning a hole. You come across this area. Now, that's not particularly inviting. Maybe if we had some sort of decorative plaque on the back. But from this side, it's a lot more inviting. It's like, okay, so I've decided to shop at this place. I come down, it's like, oh, this was a great choice. This place looks lovely. I'll have a little bit of sit down, you know, take my time deciding on what I'm going to buy. Perfect. But what if I hadn't decided I was going to come along? Well, looking at that, moving on, it was an interesting shape and stuff. But you look over here, oh, how inviting is this place? I'm going to take a load off while I think of where I'm going to spend all my money. Well, you know, since I'm already taking a load off here, I should probably have a look at what they sell. And then all of a sudden, haha, I've got you. Hook, line, and sinker. And on the top, there's going to be... Okay, you can't smell anything in this game, but the cafeteria at the top is going to be wafting out the smell of freshly baked bread and culinary delights. It's going to be grand. No one will be able to resist, even if they didn't need anything from the Worm's Urn. They will leave with an armful of things from the Worm's Urn. Back-to-back benches. Oh, now you're cooking with fire. I'm not sure, though. It doesn't really have that much room, but... Ooh. And also, having the decorations there, that would be awkward. I don't know. I don't know on this one. I don't know, chat. I think that might be too much bench. I've got to conserve the bench. If I have too much bench, I lessen their effect. It's like in a horror game. If you see the big bad too early or too frequently, they stop being frightening. They just become a mechanic that you have to try and avoid. But if you don't see the big bad at all until the very end of the game, but you're always aware of its effects, and you're always aware that your character basically wheezes themselves every time they can hear them breathing down their neck, that fear mounts. Yes, we've got to be gentle. We've got to apply our benches subtly. We don't want to beat people across the head with them. It's like, look at all of the benches. Aren't they benchy? Don't you just want to sit down? No. We must tempt them. Gently, softly. I mean, I can try double bench, but the issue there is the symmetry of the plant pots is ruined by double bench. Because to create the symmetry of the plant pots, I'd need 2 back-to-back plant pots. This space gets very, very much less walkable then, and I don't want to crowd my customers in, you know, because then they've got to navigate around the bloody bench in order to flatten themselves against this, and then they've got to navigate out around it. It doesn't make for the best scenario. But I will pop it down. You're right. I'll pop it down. There we go. And the double bench. There we are. I do feel that it's a little bit too close now. Maybe if this hadn't been quite as... maybe if I could use brick out here to bring the branches forward, perhaps. But no, I don't think the double bench works like that. I think that's a very good idea for a different place, and I might nab that idea for the eatery itself. But I think for the for just this area, single bench. Is it a backless bench? There are. Hewn benches have that. Yep. Yep. Hewn benches have are backless. No, we could totally do that. What on earth was that bison doing? I have no idea, but I think it was sus. Hello, living TNT. I think this is good. I think this is good. Hewn benches are undwarfy. This is true. It's a fact. Undeniable fact. Hewn benches are not dwarfy. But let me go and nab all that clay that Lady Sheelab left for us. Without first destroying the bison. But speaking about Lady Sheelab. And destroying a bison, actually. Lady Sheelab is off killing bison. Also, there's a wolf just down here, Lady Sheelab, if you fancy it. Bob. Make sure. Okay, Lady Sheelab's coming this way. I'll wait for her to be passed so I don't accidentally reverse into and kill her. Not that you can in this game, but you know. Whoop. Lady Sheelab single-handedly eliminating all of the wildlife on the server. A top-level hunter is a dangerous thing on an eco server. They are a force of nature. Truly, truly, they are a force of nature. Lady Sheelab can just rock up to a jungle and in like 15 minutes will clear out every living thing there. Then wander on back home. Arms laden with bison carcasses. Very strong. Lady Sheelab is terrifyingly strong. Let's move all this down. Whomp. And move this up. There we go. There we go. Plenty of things being made all the time. I wish I could only carry 5 bisons at a time. I can only carry 5 bisons at a time, Lady Sheelab says with a straight face. My lord. Engineering makes roads, as far as I'm aware. Advanced masonry makes many other things, though, like ashlar things. So very, very pretty things. Let's get in here. What? I want to do the whole Austin Powers thing. Oh, fine. Chunk. It would have been so much more funny if you just let me, though. The wheels. Etc. Oh, there we go. Can I not gather it? Oh, I can't gather any clay. Right, okay. It hasn't got room. Oh, that's how it demolishes stone. Alright. Very useful to know. Ah, that is also how it gets smacked around in my... This is stupid fast. In my area. But yeah, I'm starting to see what was being said now in chat about them being one of the fastest vehicles in the game. That was crazy quick. Right, stop using that fuel, please. No, stop. There we go. Alright. Shimmy that down. Shimmy all this across. That should be used fairly quickly. It can hold a lot of dirt. That is actually a little bit bonkers how much it can store. You know what? I think we'll put the dirt in my truck for now. But it can hold twice as much dirt as my truck can. For reference. I'm going to be ultra lazy. I'm just going to put this somewhere where I can dig it with the JCB. That's fantastic, I approve. Though I did take this a little bit too far into the wall, so actually I'm going to fill that in. Just grab these down. Now, does this leave them in large chunks? It does not. Oh, that by itself is amazing. That is actually pretty fantastic. Is there enough room for clay? Yes, there is. There we go. Get all this dirt out of there. Oh, yeah. I think I'm all out of the sand, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm fully out of sand, which is a bit of a shame. And by shame, I mean really dire. Should probably increase this up to 100. So if someone does have a lot to sell, I can buy it all at once. Making some brick fireplaces is a good way of making cash. People seem to really like those. With that cash, I can start looking at purchasing some more items. Got the bison statues here. Hello, Hissy. Yeah, by all means. Clay gets used fairly quickly. That being said about the sand, the only thing I can't make without sand is glass right now because I made a stupid amount of other materials. So I should be okay with that. Let's go ahead and make a lot of brick. Because if I can set up a huge wallop load of brick to be manufactured, then the dapperlings are going to be able to sell me more sand. And this is how I make sure that my shop is doing stuff while I'm offline. I just basically empty my stomach into labor. And go through a few things. Give me just a second, Hissy, and I will pop out and sort that for you. Let's go ahead and make 5 brick fireplaces. Well, that should make us a healthy bit of money. By healthy, I mean an awful lot of money. There we go. What is this? Ah, there we are. I shall happily shift this over. Thank you. There we are. Okay, but I do believe I heard a... So it's time for a Stream Raiders battle, I do believe. Alright then. Sold out of stone braziers. I'm going to remove them off the list then. But the sinks, the toilets, that's good. Glass, you know, selling that along. Some bison, owls, wolves. No one's going for the wolves. Poor wolves. We've got fireplaces available right now. These are skill value 2. Because it's got like a double sty. And I'm not really sure exactly what that's about, but... Well, apparently Savor's selling them for 5 silver clovers now. I mean... That's a pretty good price. It's a very good price. Should have just done there. I'm going to show you something, chat. I will do this once and once only for educational purposes. Whee! Gotta hang tight here for a moment. So, we want to go down to where She-Lab is and then across. That's it. Now, assuming it is still that price by the time I get there, I'm going to demonstrate 2 very important trading concepts. Uh-oh. I'm also going to demonstrate a dangerous vehicle maneuver. Oh, no, never mind. She-Lab is awesome. Thank you, She-Lab. Now that is an ashlar. That's what ashlar stone looks like. Bloody gorgeous. In no uncertain terms. Alright, where's the shop here? Just up along the road. These are poor examples of what I'm about to do. But there we go. Now, since I talked a lot about Eve trading, the fireplace is an example of something very important and 2 general concepts. These ones, more there to just demonstrate that it's possible with much smaller margins. As a trader, as someone who's producing wares, if someone can produce it for shockingly less than me, but I have money, I can use that money to make more money. I can buy out their stock myself and then put it back up at my store at a higher price. And as long as you have the means... Oh my goodness. There's trees broken upstairs. But as long as you have the kind of currency to be able to out-purchase their production, you can effectively just drive the price up. Now, you can use that to you know, extreme scallywaggy effect by intentionally driving the price up on something. But when you're pricing it competitively, like that is, you know, a reasonable price, and they're just able to produce it for a lot cheaper than you, then it's kind of an example of if you give someone a reason to, they can do it. That's what that fireplace was. That was a very good example of that. I'm not even sure, based on me purchasing the iron used to make it, that I can produce it that cheap. So if I just buy it out and then put more up, then I'll make a lot of money off that. The sinks and the toilet I bought purely to demonstrate that, while I can do it, I'm not making much of a margin on that because I wasn't massively overcharging for it. Like, I'm only making 5 difference. I bought it for 10, I'm going to sell it for 15. That might not even be worth the time. And certainly in the Eve, sometimes you would spend more going somewhere than you get back from the trip overall in you know, years off your life from stress going through certain gates. But with that fireplace, that is a massive difference. But further to that, there's the whole thing of centralization. Someone may have been completely willing to make that trip based on the difference in price for the fireplace. Maybe not so much for the sink and the toilet. This shop is very central, so a lot of people might be willing for 5. Well, probably not for 5 silver clovers, because a silver clover is actually worth quite a lot. But generally speaking, the more money someone has, the more they're willing to pay for convenience. But the big thing that I wanted to point out is that someone who has a lot of wealth can simply make more wealth. At that point, and this the biggest example of this is where a private, I believe it was a millionaire. He might have been a billionaire. I think he was a millionaire though. Effectively tanked the British economy by himself. Because for a very long time, Britain artificially kept the strength of the pound high by the government in Britain buying stocks in the pound itself. As the pound was traded, if the pound started to lose strength, Britain itself would buy stocks in its own currency to ensure that the trading value of the pound was high versus all of the other currencies. And this worked quite well until someone with enough money that they could tank Britain trying to buy the pound back. They could buy more than Britain could afford to buy. There was also short trading, which is a whole other conversation, where you agree to buy something now, but will sell it for the price that it is later, which is, it's a complicated. It's more complicated to explain why that's allowed than it is to explain what it is, because it is literally you buy something now, but you pay for it at whatever it's worth later. And what they banked on is they could buy so much of it now that Britain wouldn't be able to keep up with how weak the pound was getting, because they would run out of money to buy stock in their own currency. And so when he then came to sell it, it would be worth, it would be a different sorts of values, and basically crashed the British economy on that. Literally just someone just bought more than the British government could afford to buy. And that therein is one of the other interesting things, that he had enough money that he could use it to make more money. Easily one of the biggest things that I think that, as far as tips that I could give my friends, if you have money, don't just have it. Make it do stuff for you. Once you're comfortable, obviously, you've got enough money to buy food, or I could invest in something. Don't invest in something, buy your food. You need food. But once you've got enough money there, don't just be content to sit on it, because sitting on that money does very little. Like, banks don't really pay out interest. The interest a bank will pay to you for having money is pittance. And you'll be taxed on it. Instead, invest it into something. Buy property. Buy something that'll be worth more. Do something with the money, because that money, when it's just there, is not doing anything. But that money invested into something is doing something. And that's what that man did. He had stupid amounts of currency, and he was like, yeah, you know what? He made money by buying money, which I think they actually banned that ability for private individuals to purchase currency as a direct result of that. The rest of the countries looked at what happened to Britain and were like, no, thank you for basically taking one for the team, Britain, and showing us all exactly how stupid that situation is. We will guard against it. You, however, yeah, we didn't like you anyway. All snobby about how strong your currency was. But yeah, so use your money to make more money if you've got it.